Did you notice that towards the end of Vera Ellen's career, she started getting thinner and thinner right before our eyes? So many people thought she must have contracted a deadly disease, but nothing could be farther from the truth. In fact, it's due to her mother's greediness and Hollywood executives' evil motives. But does it have anything to do with why she always had a neck cover on during her prime? Let's find out while showing you some of her rare photos. Life would have been easier for young Vera Ellen if her mother hadn't insisted that she must have a daughter who was graceful on her feet. And the slot went to Vera, who would go on to suffer as she tried to live her mother's dream. Her life started in Norwood, Ohio, and by the time she was 13, Vera was already a professional child dancer. She trained with American actress Doris Day, but she moved on very quickly with her dance career after she was declared winner at a talent hunt by an American radio broadcast. Ellen made her Broadway debut in the Oscar Hammerstein musical Very Warm for May. By the end of the year, she was listed as one of the youngest Rockettes at Radio City Music Hall. Hollywood was not so far at this point, and Vera didn't seem interested until she was approached by producer Samuel Goldwyn. They signed the contract, and young Vera Ellen had her Hollywood debut in the film The Marines Fly High. She is best remembered for her starring roles in films like On the Town and the 1954 White Musical. Ellen was adored by her fans not just because of all her fancy talents, but also because of the grace and elegance she portrayed anytime she was behind the camera. But the dancer learned quite early that the limelight never brought all the joy it promised, so she tried to escape. Vera retired from acting and show business at the young age of 38, but sadly, that was too late for her. Her final performance was on November 22, 1958, in a television episode of The Perry Como Show. Vera's disappearance from the screens attracted a lot of rumors, and people just couldn't help but wonder why such a talented lady was met with such a brutal end. Many people believed that she left Hollywood because she was not treated with respect, but others argued that her time in the industry was just over. The 50s saw a decline in the number of musicals in the screen business, and Vera was just a victim of the layoff. Anyway, one thing no one could deny was that Vera Ellen retired for the same reason why she always covered her neck. Life after Hollywood was not as easy as she had thought. But although the cameras stopped paying attention, Vera did not stop dancing even until her last days. But before her retirement, something was happening to her right before our eyes that got everyone worried, but not many people know exactly what is going on with her. Vera Ellen was getting thinner with each performance, and after White Christmas, fans couldn't help but wonder what was really going on in the life of their beloved dancer. There were lots of rumors, and some of the most popular was that she had contracted some deadly disease that was eating deep into her body, and the other was that she suffered from an eating disorder. Although Vera never commented on any of these rumors, there was strong evidence that proved that something was not right with her. Her unhealthy eating habits did not start in Hollywood. It started right from her childhood days, and she blamed her mother. Vera Ellen's mother, Alma Rowe, knew that her daughter was special, but she would go to extreme lengths to prove that to the world. By her 12th birthday, the young dancer was already the star student at Hessler's Dance Studio in Cincinnati, and she was selected to be the chief majorette of the school band. Alma saw Vera as her ticket out of poverty, and the first thing she would do for her young child was to place her on an extreme diet to get rid of baby fats. Vera strictly followed a diet that forbade salt, bread, cereals, pasta, grapefruit, and lemon. A classmate of Vera would even testify that at some point, Miss Rowe insisted on feeding her daughter pink bananas to keep her small and trim, and all of these bad habits followed Vera to adulthood. Outside of her mother's control, the actress still couldn't break free from her unhealthy eating habits. The pressures of Hollywood would make things even worse as Vera worked to be thinner every year. The only time Vera was allowed to do what she wanted was when her mother started getting all that she had been fighting for. Her early days on Broadway saw her maintaining a healthy and sometimes even plump figure. I thought she was so adorable. This bouncy and joyous and slightly plump little person. She wasn't so pencil thin as she got later on. Actress Betty Garrett commented on Vera's Broadway days. Vera continued to grow fatter as her mother maintained distance between them, but after her first divorce, things went back as they used to be. By the time Vera and her mother returned to Hollywood for the 1945 film Wonder Woman, her weight had dropped again. It was estimated that she weighed 90 pounds, and her mother was not all guilty this time. Work on Broadway and failed romances were taking their toll on the actress, and she didn't know how to handle all the pressure. Hollywood treated her well in her first few years, and the once slender Vera Ellen became too fat for movie roles. Vera joined MGM at the peak of her fame, and the studio executives made it clear that she wouldn't last long with them if she didn't do something about her body. It was even reported that they nicknamed Vera's thighs as the problem area. And it was one nightmare to another for the actress. Fellow MGM star would, in an interview, reveal just exactly what happened between Vera and her studio executives. Vera Ellen was told that she was too fat, that her top thighs were heavy. No matter how she exercised, the fat still remained. Vera Ellen was never fat. She was insecure and wanted to please, so she believed them, which was the worst thing she could have done. To force herself back to her slender nature, it was reported that Ellen drank coffee all day and only ate a steak and vegetables at night. She finally got what she wanted, and even that was not enough. The studio still wouldn't get off her back, and this continued until she decided that she had had just enough. Vera had one final dance, and then she retired from show business. It's still a debate if Vera was able to find the peace she desired outside of the industry, as even though nobody was watching, the actress still kept up with her bulwarking culture. At the time of her death, the actress weighed 75 pounds, the same she weighed when she was 16. Aside from that, have you ever wondered why Vera Ellen fought not to expose her neck? Was it all anorexia, or were there secret reasons? According to the backstories of White Christmas, the chief designer, Edith Head, was ordered to select costumes that only highlighted assets and concealed body flaws. This was exactly all she would do with Vera Ellen. Her legs were the most advertised, and her upper body had to stay hidden, as fans might find it uncomfortably slim. Still, people noticed. A few believed that the high necklines were nothing but an issue of fashion preference, but that was far from the reality. According to Vera's second husband, the actress never enjoyed wearing neck covers. She was easy to live with apart from not liking high collars and liking to elevate her feet to improve circulation, he said. So it is very unlikely that Vera Ellen chose to wear high necklines in White Christmas out of fashion preference. We also saw how comfortable she was in exposing her neck in films like the 1953 Big Leaguer and the 1954 premiere of A Star is Born, which was about 9 months before the production of White Christmas. She was much healthier and so didn't have anything to hide. "Honey, you have to eat, your bones are showing," co-star Fred Astaire remembered telling her. We remember that it started with her mother's influence and then industry demands, but ultimately, Vera's desire to prove and maintain her relevance contributed the most to the sudden decline of her career. Bill Dennington, her friend for the last 20 years of her life, claimed that Vera had no problems with her neck. Furthermore, he revealed that he hated that people thought of Vera Ellen as the dancer with anorexia and not the fabulous dancer who has been so overlooked. Seeing that she had suffered this much, love was going to be even more ruthless to the actress. That was the price she would pay for seeking love in an industry that had punished her for so long. Her first marriage was with fellow dancer Robert Hightower. They tied the knot in February 1941, and it was then that they realized that it was never meant to happen. While the insides of this union were carefully kept away from the knowledge of the public, Ellen knew that it was not going to have a fairy tale ending. Their marriage ended after 5 years, and by November 1946, they had finalized their divorce. Decided to give love one more try, but this time outside the industry. Vera was hooked up with oil man Victor Rothschild. They got married in 1954, and this was Ellen's longest-standing relationship. It was also one that would bring her so much trouble and force her to withdraw from public life. 9 years into their marriage, Vera had a daughter, Victoria Ellen, which was one of her life's most memorable moments. In 1963, the actress lost her 3-month daughter to SIDS, and that was just too much pain for her. Ellen disappeared from the public eye, and for a very long time, nobody knew exactly what had happened to Vera Ellen until the news of her death. There was a time before all of this when she found love with American actor Rock Hudson. Hudson did everything he could to marry Vera, but the actress had learned bitter lessons about marriage and she wasn't ready to compromise. They ended up as very good friends even after they called off the romance. While acting and singing might not be Vera's finest talents, she had a few things that kept her busy when she was not tapping her feet in a ballroom. And one of them was swimming. Unlike dancing, which brought her so many problems in her life, Vera Ellen, through her passion for swimming, was able to avoid death after she retired from the screen business. According to her niece, Ileana Rothschild, Vera suffered a stroke during the later years of her life, and the doctors would recommend a swimming program that helped her recovery. Ileana attracted a lot of controversy when she said that Vera never had an eating disorder. To her, the actress was just a victim of extreme body changes, and she was never going to forgive fans who were this cruel to their star dancer. Vera Ellen's last days were far from anything anyone would envision for an actress who had such a promising start. She was sad and lonely, but she still never stopped tapping her feet. Her love for dancing pushed her through dark days, and although her mother was extreme in all she did, Vera was glad that she had made her learn how to dance. Vera Ellen died in August 1981 from complications of ovarian cancer, and it was a sad day for the entertainment industry. She was 60 years old at the time of her death. The news of her death brought back memories of how we felt anytime we saw her dancing on the screen, and it was really sad that she never got the respect she deserved from the industry and fans. Her legacy lives on through her timeless performances, and she remains an inspiration for dancers and movie lovers. At the time of her death, Vera Ellen had an estimated net worth of $3 million, according to CelebrityNetWorth.com. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other videos of beautiful actresses from the yesteryears on the screen below. As always, thanks for watching.